Hey guys, just a note for my long-term viewers that I am working behind the scenes to improve Cobalt Retro Tech videos. Unfortunately, that does mean I'm slowing down a little bit in terms of producing videos, and the fact that I'm working on a couple of big projects right now, but either way, you guys will start seeing some improvements, starting with the Season 3 intro. Hello and welcome to Cobalt Retro Tech. Hope you're having an amazing day. Apologies for the lack of tripod, I can't find it at the moment. But today is going to be a start of a very, very special project. And what I mean by that is the rest of this project hasn't gotten into motion yet, so when this episode goes live, it's going to be labeled Secret Project. When the rest of the project goes live, it's no longer going to be labeled Secret Project, as the secret would be out. Now, what am I talking about here? Well, at the core of my secret project is an original Xbox. But I did not want to sacrifice my original Xbox, the one you see in front of you right here, so I went on eBay and got this one. Now, this one is a unit of unknown condition. The seller noted that it had the flashing amber green light, which tells me that the seller just tested it without actually plugging in a video signal. So there's actually a decent chance that this actually works, especially since the seller actually packaged this unit very well. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing hooked up to the TV, and we're going to actually see if it works. If it does, this is going to make this project a lot easier. If it doesn't work, then I've got some troubleshooting to do, and if it's something I can't fix, I'm just going to get another Xbox. So we'll see what happens. So as you can see, with this unit being a second-hand unit, it's dirty and it's obviously used. Also, the chassis is in alright condition. It's a little bit scratched, but honestly, because this Xbox is being used for my special project, the overall condition of the shell actually doesn't matter. So, an interesting note, this is the manufacture date of my existing original Xbox, December 14th, 2002. So that makes this Xbox that I just got a couple months older than the one I already have, which is both good and bad news, because it's good news because the really late Xboxes, one of the last revisions ever made, have been known to have issues with the video, something with the video circuitry, either the GPU itself or something with the video controller. But it's also bad news, as that's one of the Xboxes that has an infamous clock capacitor that's known for, well, shit in the bed, so to speak. It's known to explode, and because of the nature of the insides of a capacitor, that electrolytic fluid is known for destroying motherboards. So after I boot this up and test it, I'm going to crack this open and make sure that capacitor is removed. I've got this guy hooked up and the TV on the correct inputs, so let's go ahead and see if it even boots up. Oh. Holy crap. Well, we've gotten a lot further than I expected, but that's definitely gonna need a fan replacement. Do you hear that fan? Oh man, that fan sounds horrible. Oh well, I was planning on doing a fan replacement anyways. I wanted a quiet fan, but now I really need a quiet fan. Here is the fan noise of my Xbox. And here's the fan noise of this unit. Actually, now that I think about it, I kind of don't care if the disk drive works or not, although I'm pretty sure it does, even though the tray is sticking, because my project that I'm planning on for this Xbox doesn't need a disk drive. Well, at least once everything is gone to plan. I'm sorry, you'll have to forgive the fridge noise, because on one hand I need good audio for Cobalt Retro Tech, but that's not worth sacrificing all of the food in my fridge. So, I've taken apart an Xbox before, because I've taken the clock capacitor out of my good condition Xbox. So, I know that I'm gonna need 2 Torx bits. I think it's like T8 and then T10, something like that. One bit and then one bit that's slightly smaller than the other bit. So we're gonna go ahead and flip this guy over. I do plan on replacing the hard drive, but I still need that hard drive until my plans can go in motion. Now, my job is 1/5 easier because I don't have to worry about one of the rubber feet because it's already missing. Let me just put that in frame better for you. There we go. Okay. See, the trick with the original Xbox is that there are 5T, I believe 10 screws holding the general chassis together. One is underneath the serial thing over here. It should be right about over there. And I know that for certain because I just recently took a picture of this area for reference for something earlier in this video. Alright, so I'm gonna grab a T10. Nope, not T10, that's too small. T15 then. Yeah, T15. So you're gonna wanna take out a screw. So you're gonna wanna take out 4 of these screws that are underneath the feet. And because this one has already been totally off and lost, you can see exactly where those screws typically are. Now, the interesting screw is that there's one underneath this label here as a warranty void if removed sticker. You know what we do around here to warranty void if removed stickers? Well, first, we flip it off, and then second, we tell it to fuck off. I just gotta find where the screw is. I could probably use my current Xbox as a reference. So, fortunately, there were not any major revisions hardware-wise with the original Xbox. So, if you know how to take apart an original Xbox, you know how to take apart all of them. You might need your memory refreshed every once in a while, but in general, yeah, you can kind of see it if you poke around a little bit. So this final screw that you're going to have to worry about is right here. Now, if this were a console that I would sell, I'd probably be a lot more careful in terms of preserving the look of this console, specifically with labels like that. However, that's not a concern with this Xbox. I know I keep dropping hints all over the place as to what the project is. Just gonna go ahead and stab that sticker, call it good. You could, like, peel it off so you can, like, uncover it later or whatever. Yeah, that's the messy way to do that. That's the way I did that with my current active original Xbox, and that's the way I'm going to do it here. But I would probably make sure that I could do it a little less destructively if I were selling this unit. But again, I'm not. And unfortunately, because because the screws were set underneath, the feet here, you need to somehow pry these feet off of the unit to get under there. Now, again, I wouldn't usually do this method for an original Xbox, but I am not super concerned with the condition of this chassis when my overarching project is done, so I'm going to go ahead and use my tools to an advantage within reason. You just go ahead, stab the foot, and lift it up. Now, if you wanted to entirely replace the adhesive, which you could totally do, you could totally take off the foot. But I don't... See, I may or may not actually want to reuse this chassis for a different project. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might want to treat it with a little bit of respect. But right now, I think I'm just going to partially gung-ho this. Alright, I'm going to tip this over here so that the screw's close to me. See, this one can pry up without use of a metal tool. Ooh, interesting. The adhesive stayed down. You see that one? Kinda. There we go, that's a little better. See, this adhesive stayed down here. Not super interesting, but a little bit cool. Alright. We've already taken out 4 of these screws. We just need to take out 1 more. Come on. There we go. Maybe I just wasn't patient the first time around. Who knows? But this adhesive doesn't want to come up with the feet over the last 2 feet, so I don't know. I haven't encountered that before with my other Xbox, so who knows? Alright. My excuse is it's been a while since I've taken apart an Xbox, so I generally know how to take apart an Xbox, but some of the semantics are a little lost on me. There's 1 more screw right about here. So if you want to take apart an Xbox and do that non-destructively, you're going to have to worry about two labels and 4 feet for a total of 6 long T15 screws. Alright. Now that should be everything. Now we should be able to crack this baby open. And take a look at the insides. Based on the condition of the outer chassis, I'm willing to bet there's a pretty decent amount of dirt and filth and dust in here. Come on. Oh, you know what? First impressions? Not bad inside. But that's first impressions. So in here, we got the disk drive, we've got the hard drive, and an IDE cable. Because this console predates SATA being used in consoles. The next generation, the 360, used at least some form of SATA during its life. Now at this point, I do see some Phillips screws on this disk drive. So I'm going to go ahead and unscrew them. I grabbed a PH1 bit and that seems to work. I think I just snapped a stock there. That's always fun. And I'm going to keep the Phillips screws on the lid of my driver kit. Okay. So here's that. I can... Oh. There's another screw that it looks like Torx, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure this is where I'm remembering the T8 part from. There's another one in here. Yep, it is indeed T8. I could take that out, put that there like that, and I should be able to start taking this apart. Maybe. Kind of. Not really. Fair enough. What am I missing? What am I missing? Well, first of all, so we don't accidentally damage this IDE cable, because I still kind of need it for a little while, I'm going to go ahead and take this out. Or damage it trying. Yeah. I swear I've taken apart one of these before. Twice. But this is not wanting to cooperate. That's the shielding. Okay. Oh, yes. That's right. There's a few more T8 screws. I wish I had more cameras and more tripods to give you guys better angles as this project is evolving. But we're dealing with what I got right now. Alright, I think those are the final two screws. Yeah, that's starting to move now. Okay, just had to be a touch less delicate with the IDE cable. Now I can kind of see what's going on a little bit better. By all accounts, this should more or less just lift out. Yeah. Yeah, it's being a little bit too gentle with this thing. But to a certain extent, you kind of gotta be gentle with these old electronics. Especially from things with the Xbox era and older. Because plastics just get more and more brittle over time. Kind of like humans. Like I said, I don't necessarily... Oh, I can see inside a little bit. That is thoroughly nasty. I'm definitely going to give this an IPA bath. Come on. Yeah, I probably broke something. But now we got that out. Ooh. Yeah, there is a fair amount of dust in here. Probably seeing this a little better than I thought. Okay. Ooh. Interesting find. I don't want to take apart my my currently working... I don't want to take apart my current Xbox just to show you it. I do not remember seeing a GPU fan on my Xbox. So that's probably why this unit is a little bit louder. Oh. Whoa. Really dusty. Alright, there's the IDE cable. Let me see if I can find this time capacitor. You know what? The caps in this machine are in actually very good condition. I am surprised. My first Xbox sitting over there under my TV had a leaking clock capacitor. Yeah, another thing I'm going to be doing here with this Xbox is giving the CPU and GPU a nice old repaste. I think when I repasted my first original Xbox, yeah, that was quite some time ago. That was before Cobalt Retro Tech. But when I repasted that Xbox, the thermal paste was more like a thermal epoxy and was a major pain in the butt to remove. So I'm going to go through that again, and I'm going to be crapping bricks the entire time I am repasting it, because there's a possibility that repasting it might break it, just because the thermal paste that Microsoft used back in the day is basically epoxy now at this point. And I need, like, even if it wasn't for the clock capacitor, I would still want to repaste this, because, yeah, electronics plus heat equals eventual SADs. I'm going to have to basically take the thing entirely apart. As long as you keep them generally grouped together by type of screw, you should be good. Okay, we've got movement. Okay, come on. Something's holding it in. I think it's one of the standoffs here. But it is out. Okay. Don't want to ruin that cable. And then we got an unplugged fan there. Alright. So this is the original Xbox. I'm kind of surprised that Microsoft... Ooh, the board... Oh, no, that's supposed to be there. That's for isolation. Kind of surprised that the Xbox ended up being as big as it is. Even considering the technology at the time. I know the original Xbox was supposedly a console made with off-the-shelf parts, at least for the most part. And yeah, that's true. It's pretty much a PC. Let's see, at this point, what do we want to do? Well, like I said, I gotta repaste this guy. And the paste that I have is not high quality paste-ish, but it should be a lot better than this bullcrap that we got going on here. unless this paste has been replaced, but I doubt it has been replaced considering that all of the warranty stickers were still in place. Alright, got a little bit more tool persuasion to perform. I hope this doesn't break things. Some more tool persuasion. Come on. Come on, baby, you know you want to. Moving capacitors just to get this clip off. There we go. Kind of. Little bits at a time. There we go. And if I knock off a cap, I have no problem sourcing some extra ones online and resoldering it. I have a soldering iron, so I could probably figure it out. There we go. Oh man, that's gonna be a bitch to get back on, but we're getting it off. Yeah. This board is very, very dusty. Oh, what? That came off really easy. How? What? That was absurdly easy. What the heck? Well, I'm definitely going to be cleaning all of this off. And then I've got this thing to worry about. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this heatsink back on. Oh. I hope that didn't just break things. This is why I don't like using tools for tool persuasion. Do I need to take off the fan, though? That's the question. There we go. Yeah, I need to take off the fan. Okay, I'm not using those bits because that would chew up the screws. Okay, there they are. Alright, is this pH 00? Looks like 00. Yeah, that's 00. But it has the much older GPU fan style, which I'm pretty sure is the biggest reason as to why this system is so much louder than my other one. Okay, how can I get this thing off without damaging it? Urgh. Okay. Alright, it's pry time. Come on. Oh, there was a little bit of movement. Oh, I'm scratching up the heatsink though. That's okay. There's at least a small chance that I'm gonna get a replacement. There we go. Woo! Okay. Well, there's the CPU and GPU dies of an original Xbox. You can tell this is very old because CPUs and GPUs, well, at least on the desktop side, they don't really look like that anymore. I'm gonna go grab some stuff to clean this stuff off, and I guess I'll do a little time lapse. Alright, I've got stuff, some isopropanol and a brush and a guitar pick. I'll probably need some other things later, but for now, yeah, let's just get a good look at this board. It is incredibly dirty, and I'm so glad I took this apart because that thermal paste was a total no-go. It was super dirty, and I'm going to be doing a special project with this anyways. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get that time lapse going. Yeah, that's probably just about as good as I'll be able to get it. Alright. And this is the same tube of thermal paste I used on the other Xbox. So these two guys have one more thing in common, being the use of the same thermal paste. If I can get this thing open. There we go. Just a little. Okay, that might be a little bit too much, but it should be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this off in the sink real quick, dry it off as well. Let's go ahead and use the heat sink. Kind of spread that out a little bit. A little bit of wiggling. Oh yeah, that's plenty of coverage. Alright. And where's the clamp for the CPU heatsink? Huh. Oh, there it is. Uh-oh. Did I just... Oh, it looked like it broke something. Come on, get in there. Okay, maybe it's just gonna be stubborn like this the whole way through. yeah, that's it. Specific way around. Alright. I'm relearning everything I learned earlier. Okay. Alright. Again, I'm probably going to replace this at some point because that CPU fan makes this system a lot louder than I want it to be. But I need to keep it for now. I'm going to go ahead and put on a lot of thermal paste, relatively speaking. That's probably too much, but I can fix that if it is. Alright. Let's nestle this down. Okay. That's a lot of coverage. I don't know if that's going to be enough. But can't really do too much. Trying to press down on it usually to emulate the pressure of the retention arm. Come on. There we go. Oh yeah, that's plenty of coverage. Okay. Now, about this fan. That is thoroughly disgusting. Well, that's a lot better. But like I said, I plan on replacing some of this stuff anyways, so this is going to be temporary. Oh, I'm missing an important step. Come on, Ratchetech. Get your head in the game. Ooh. Nice. Alright, we should be able to just slap this in here and call it good. Granted, like I said, I'm pretty sure my other Xbox doesn't have a GPU fan, but you know, that went on easily enough. Okay, so I didn't really test any thermal or game performance beforehand, but if everything goes to plan, this thing should boot up like normal and actually run a little bit cooler because the thermal paste is refreshed. Okay, this video is getting slightly more precarious, but this is an original Xbox in its most raw form, and it's almost ready to do some out-of-chassis testing. And this is not the original fan, but this is a fan that I've grabbed from a swap cooler that I haven't used in quite some time. So I'm pretty much ready to do some out-of-board testing, except that I don't have a way to turn the system on right now. So I'll have to quickly yank the buttons from the front panel off so I can actually plug this thing in and turn it on. See, this board right here is the control board for the controller ports. But I need right now is this up here. I'm going to need the controller ports eventually because obviously I need a controller. But right now I think there's this little tab here. I think I can just pop that off like that. Are there any other screws I might have to take care of? Maybe, but that's popping off easy as it is. I might have to take the rest of this apart. Yeah. But I also don't want to move this right here. So, yeah, I think I'll just go ahead and do that part off camera. Okay, things have happened. This was really hard to get off without totally breaking everything. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I don't think I'm going to be saving this case. I normally don't like it when people don't save the cases, but what are you going to do? So, if you're trying to take the front faceplate off of your Xbox, you gotta keep in mind that there's a couple tabs here. And then how I finally got this off is prying from the corners here after loosening the grip of these tabs on the bottom of the case and just kind of prying it out by the corners, upside down. At least that's how I did it, and I would very much recommend removing the motherboard before taking this out. And I finally got this off of the system. It's basically just a bunch of prying and being careful to not screw up the circuit board. Tabs, 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 to tab tabs. But yeah, this is totally possible, obviously. And if I really wanted to, I could reassemble this unit in its shell, but again, the project that I'm planning here does not require the shell. So I'll go ahead and plug this in, plug in the system to the wall, and see if it still boots, because there's a chance I might have broken everything. Alright, the Xbox is alive. I just don't know if it needs the CD or DVD-ROM drive to be in to boot. I'm just going to hold this fan here. We're going to see if this thing blows up. I do have a fire extinguisher on standby. Hey, there we go. GPU or CPU fan spun, but not the CPU. That's a little concerning. Might just be because I don't have a monitor plugged in. I grab the AV cable real quick, maybe that would change things. Let's get the right one. There we go. Alright, let's try this again. Uh-oh. That's a red ring. Well, shit. That could be because the DVD drive is not installed. Which, that's going to be interesting because I don't want this drive involved with my project. But if it's a requirement, then so be it. Well, this is the jankest I have ever seen in an original Xbox. But we'll see. We'll see if this works. Oh, come on. That CPU fan is even more not happy, but I don't have a red ring anymore. Oh, that kind of fixed it. Progressive maintenance. It appears to be working. Let me see if I can get the controller ports hooked back up. I feel like I need to invest in a smaller composite monitor for testing like this, because this is getting much, even for my standards. Alright, I've got a controller plugged into what I believe is port 1. I don't think it matters that much, though. But let's go ahead and turn this thing on. Okay. Alright, that's something. So it looks like, even though there's no leaking capacitor on that board, it's possible that I might need to take that capacitor out anyways. Well, I'm probably going to remove it regardless, because that kind of capacitor is very well known for destroying Xbox motherboards. Oh yeah, there's actual audio. It's just hard to tell because the Xbox is really loud. Alright, you can still read the hard drive, that's good. I want to test the DVD drive though. Alright, and I've grabbed my copy of Namco Museum for Xbox. Right here. I'm going to go ahead and try to play it on this system. There's a chance that something's going to go wrong. I have a bad feeling about this, but I'm going to try anyways. Yeah, that GPU fan's going to give me a headache here pretty quick, so I'm not going to be too long. Oh! Shit, that sounded bad. Ah, crap. That did scratch the game. Oh well. I guess this wasn't on right. How do I get it on right? That's the question of the day right there. I would highly recommend not trying to run a DVD drive like this with the lid off, like I tried. Oh, that one's spinning in a thing. That might be a problem. Oh boy. Well, how loose is that? Not very. That should be okay, assuming it can read things. So you can see here the disc. So you can see here the disc did get a little bit of a munch. And there's a good chance that this disc does not work anymore. Which is a bummer, but at least I've got this. Ooh. But at least I got this game on PS2 if I really want to play it. Oh yeah, that disk drive is very not happy. Well, shit. Well, rip the first copy of Namco Museum. Well, the first Xbox copy of Namco Museum I've bought with my own money. Served me well. And yes, I am aware you shouldn't test unknown things with valuable things. Or sentimental things. I know. But I've got other ways to play that game, so... But I might have to end up getting a whole new copy anyways because of this project. Well, now you guys know exactly what not to do when you want to read a disc like that. And I hope this video was at least vaguely entertaining in some fashion. And I think I'll make this the end of the video. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. If you would like to support me a bit more directly, there is my Patreon. And at this point, I do have to say thank you to Kilo's supporter, Indian Mac. You help make Cobot Retro Tech possible. Thank you. And there's other ways to support me as well. There's my socials in the description below. Also in the description are links to my music. You can check that out too. It's some pretty cool stuff. And with that, have a good one.